Intro. Modern stress is a strange thing. It doesn't come from lions stalking us or enemies storming the city gates. It comes from notifications, deadlines, expectations, judgment, comparison, the endless pressure to be more, do more, earn more, prove more. Men today are drowning not in danger, but in noise. And yet, nearly 2,000 years ago, an emperor sat quietly in a tent on a battlefield, writing notes to himself about a different kind of battle, the one inside his own mind. That emperor was Marcus Aurelius. And if Marcus were here today, walking through our streets, scrolling through our feeds, listening to our complaints about stress, he wouldn't be confused. He wouldn't be overwhelmed. He wouldn't be surprised. He'd simply say, "The world has always been loud, but your mind doesn't have to be." This video is what Marcus Aurelius would tell you, a man living in a distracted, chaotic world, about modern stress and how to master it before it masters you. Let's begin. 1. Your attention is your most valuable possession. If Marcus saw the modern man trapped in the prison of his phone, he wouldn't judge him. He would recognize him. Because in his own time, Marcus wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If your thoughts are constantly being hijacked by comparison, bad news, arguments, and endless content, then your soul, your inner world, becomes dyed with anxiety. Marcus would say this: "You say you're stressed, but often you are simply scattered." He'd tell you that your stress isn't from what you're doing. It's from what's stealing your attention. He'd ask you, why do you allow every notification to command you like a master? Why do you hand your focus to strangers on the internet? Why do you expect peace when you spend your day feeding your mind chaos? Then he'd give you the first commandment for a calmer, stronger life. Guard your attention like a warrior guards the gate, because whatever enters your mind becomes your world. 2. Stop fighting battles that don't belong to you. Marcus Aurelius led armies, governed an empire, and carried responsibilities that would crush most men today. But even he understood that the mind can only hold so much. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Now imagine Marcus looking at the modern man stressing over strangers, arguing on social media, political headlines he can't control, celebrities doing foolish things, people he'll never meet, events he cannot influence. Marcus would shake his head gently and say, "You are exhausting yourself with battles that do not belong to you." Modern stress is often borrowed stress. We carry burdens we were never meant to hold. Marcus would tell you to ask a simple question when something upsets you. Is this my responsibility? If the answer is no, he'd tell you to release it. Not because you're indifferent, but because your strength is needed for the things that are your responsibility, your character, your family, your purpose, your discipline, your actions, everything else. Let it go. A strong man knows which battles are his and which ones belong to the world. 3. Stillness is not a luxury, it's a duty. Ask a modern man how he's doing, and he'll say he's stressed, busy, overwhelmed, burnt out. Ask why, and he'll say, "I don't have time to rest." Marcus would answer, "If you do not make time for stillness, chaos will make it for you." In his meditations, Marcus constantly reminded himself to pause, breathe, reflect, and return to reason. And he wasn't a monk. He wasn't on a quiet island. He was leading a world empire while fighting wars. Yet he found time for silence. Marcus would say, "You are not tired from working. You are tired from never stopping." Stillness isn't weakness. Stillness isn't laziness. Stillness is how a man reclaims sovereignty over his mind. He'd tell you to build small pockets of stillness. 5 minutes in the morning before touching your phone, breathing deeply when anxiety rises, pausing before reacting, journaling your thoughts instead of drowning in them, walking without music or distractions. Stillness is not an escape from stress. It is how you sharpen yourself to face it. 4. Stop trying to control what refuses to be controlled. Marcus Aurelius faced plagues, invasions, betrayal, loss, political chaos. He understood stress far more real than ours, but he also understood this truth. Today, I escaped anxiety. Or no, I discarded it because it was within me. Marcus would look at the modern man and see how much of his stress comes from one illusion, the illusion of control. Modern men try to control everything: other people's opinions, other people's behavior, outcomes, timelines, circumstances, the future itself. Marcus would say, "You suffer because you cling to what you cannot command." He'd remind you, you cannot control the market, you cannot control the weather, you cannot control other people's moods, loyalty, or judgments. You cannot control every outcome in your life, but you can always control your effort, your choices, your discipline, your reactions, your character. Stress loses its grip when you stop trying to control the uncontrollable and master your own actions instead. 5. Most stress is born from desire, not duty. Marcus wrote often about desires, the craving for validation, reward, recognition, and success. Not because they're evil, but because uncontrolled desire makes a man restless. He would see the modern man's stress and say, "You want too much, too fast, for the wrong reasons." Think about it. You're stressed because you want to be further ahead. You're stressed because you compare your timeline to others. You're stressed because you expect progress without patience. You're stressed because you chase a vision of yourself that looks impressive rather than meaningful. Marcus would ask you, do you want approval or mastery? Do you want applause or progress? Do you want ease or strength? He'd remind you, desire pulls you in every direction. Duty grounds you in one. When a man knows what he must do, not what he wants, not what others want, his stress fades and his purpose sharpens. 6. You are imagining your suffering twice. Marcus Aurelius understood a psychological truth long before psychology existed. Humans create most of their own pain. He wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but your estimate of it." If Marcus saw modern stress, people panicking about things that haven't even happened, he'd say, "You suffer more in anticipation than in reality." Today, men stress not because of the task, but because of imagining the task, not because of the conversation, but because of rehearsing it 100 times in their minds. We worry about futures that never arrive. We replay failures that no longer exist. We predict problems that never come. Marcus would tell you, when you live in the future, you abandon your power in the present. He'd teach you to meet life one moment at a time. Handle the task in front of you. Speak the truth when the moment arrives, not before. Solve problems when they appear, not when they're imagined. Anxious men live in tomorrow. Stoic men stand firmly in today. 7. Choose what things mean. One of Marcus's greatest insights was this: Everything is perception. Modern stress often comes not from events, but from meaning. Your boss emails you late and you panic, but the email has no meaning until you give it one. Your partner seems quiet and you assume something's wrong. Your friend doesn't reply and you assume he's upset. Someone critiques your work and you assume it's an attack. Marcus would say, "Nothing is stressful until you interpret it so." He'd remind you, you choose what things mean. You choose whether something is an insult or feedback. You choose whether life is happening to you or for you. You choose whether this moment is a burden or a training ground for your character. Marcus would teach you to slow down before reacting and ask, is there another way to perceive this? Men who master perception master their reality. 8. Remember your mortality. Stress reveals what truly matters. Marcus wrote constantly about death, not in a dark or depressing way, but in a clarifying way. He used mortality to sharpen his priorities. If he walked through a modern city and saw men stressed about what strangers think small inconveniences, minor setbacks, imagined futures, petty conflicts, he would say, "You forget how short life truly is." Marcus understood that the awareness of death is not meant to frighten us, but to awaken us. He'd remind you, you will not remember most of what stresses you today, but you will remember whether you lived as the man you intended to be. Mortality wipes away the trivial. It exposes what actually matters: integrity, presence, love, contribution, discipline, character. When you remember that your time is limited, your stress begins to shrink. 9. A stronger man emerges from a challenged mind. Marcus Aurelius never sought a stress-free life. He didn't pray for ease. He didn't hope for perfect conditions. He believed that adversity is the forge of character. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." If Marcus watched modern men crumble under stress, he'd say, "You do not understand what stress is for. Stress is not your enemy. Stress is not proof you're failing. Stress is not a sign that life is unfair. Stress is resistance. Resistance is training. Training builds strength." Marcus would teach you, do not ask for lighter burdens, ask for broader shoulders. Every challenge is a chance to practice patience, courage, resilience, self-control, discipline. The Stoic does not run from stress. The Stoic uses it. 10. Return to your inner citadel. If Marcus could give modern men one final lesson, it would be this: there is a place within you that the world cannot touch. He called it the inner citadel, the unshakable core of reason, virtue, and strength inside every man. Modern stress pulls you outward, to comparison, to distraction, to noise, to chaos, to weakness, to emotional reactivity. Marcus would guide you back inward. He'd say, "You are not your stress. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who chooses how to respond to them." Your inner citadel is built through discipline, reflection, solitude, journaling, honesty, resilience, choosing wisdom over impulse. When a man strengthens his inner citadel, the world may shake around him, but he does not shake with it. In conclusion, so what would Marcus Aurelius say about modern stress? He would tell you that nothing you face today is new. The form has changed, but the battle is the same. Stress is not your enemy. It is your messenger, a reminder to guard your attention, a reminder to release what you cannot control, a reminder to slow down, breathe, and return to the present, a reminder to act with discipline rather than desire, a reminder that perception shapes your reality, a reminder that death clarifies what truly matters. A reminder that you are forged, not by comfort, but by challenge. Marcus would leave you with this. If you want a calmer life, strengthen the man who is living it. Not the schedule, not the circumstances, not the world. Strengthen you. Because the modern world is loud, but your mind can be still. The world is chaotic, but your decisions can be disciplined. The world is stressful, but you can be unshakable. And if Marcus Aurelius stood beside you right now, he would say, you are capable of far more peace, strength, and resilience than you realize. Return to yourself. Master yourself. Then the world can do nothing to disturb you.